A little more for your ears only. I'm David Alpern.
I'm Melissa Exelberth with a quote from the news. A very nasty, scorched earth, high-profile litigation. That was attorney Martha Cohen-Stein on the upcoming divorce of New York real estate tycoon Andrew Silverman and his wife Lauren after she reportedly became pregnant by family friend Simon Cowell, the reality TV star. Now this.
I love him. I have forgiven him. I believe in him. And as we have said from the beginning, we are moving forward.
I meet people all the time who say to me, I don't like you, Mr. Weiner, because of something in your background, because of a vote you cast, because of something in your ideas book. That's where elections are.
Even after wheeling out his wife, still a trusted advisor to once and future White House resident Hillary Clinton, would-be New York Mayor Anthony Weiner still found himself hounded over crude texting and photo sexting that continued even after his apologies for the initial scandal that forced him to resign from Congress. And the Clinton connection was more than historic, with reports that Weiner's campaign was pressing Clinton supporters to help him and their beloved Huma Abedin Weiner to overcome private scandal as the Clintons had.
Politicians behaving badly in private is nothing new. Also running in New York for comptroller and redemption is former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer, who resigned after a pay-for-play affair became public. And across the country, San Diego Mayor Bob Filner faced new sexual harassment complaints from a ninth woman as he prepared to begin therapy as an alternative to the resignation that so many around that town demand. To talk about the motivations of all of the men and the women involved, for your ears only, we're joined now by Dr. Wendy James, psychologist and owner of Life Consultants in Dallas. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Talk about the sense of grandiosity that leads people to seek public office and public scrutiny, but also dangerous private behavior. Are they two sides of the same coin?
Let me first start with, I find many politicians' egos leads to a sense of narcissistic behavior. And as a psychologist, let me give you a short definition. The definition of narcissistic personality disorder is grandiose sense of self-importance, expects to be recognized as superior with their achievements, preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, belief of being special and unique, requires excessive admiration and a sense of entitlement, and lacks empathy and shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. And a short definition and the psychological definition. And so I kind of see these politicians exhibiting narcissistic behavior.
Almost as a ticket of admission. Given his marriage to a Hillary aide, was it predictable that Weiner would think he could survive a sex scandal the way Bill Clinton did with his wife's help?
He thought he could. And obviously with his wife coming up for forgiving him again and again, obviously his counseling hasn't helped. And he's continuing therapy.
Why was Bill able to overcome the affair with Monica Lewinsky and earlier reports of so-called bimbo eruptions in terms of public opinion in a way that Weiner apparently can't?
As a psychologist, I'm not sure the dynamics there, that he was already in office and, is a charming personality. We all know that he lied and came back to say he lied, and Hillary forgave him. I'm not sure. That is talking then about how the public and voters perceive. And I think the voters are sometimes uninformed, and they look at name recognition. And as you can see with Weiner, his polls are going down every day as people do the research and find out more about him.
In psychological terms, how do you see Weiner's mindset affecting his ability to be mayor of New York?
I think he has some psychological sexual problems that he needs therapy for, and his behavior has not changed. And that may be the key because, Bill Clinton changed his behavior. And also the person that's running Spitzer, said I'm sorry and stopped his behavior as far as we know.
What do you think about 2 weeks of therapy as sufficient to cure San Diego Mayor's Filner from his serial sexual harassment? How long does effective therapy generally take in cases like that, or Weiner's?
It's ongoing, and there's no exact amount of time. As a psychologist, I can say it can take, months or years. I'm looking at both of these, the San Diego and the Weiner, that don't seem to want to change their behavior, which is a key component in counseling and psychology.
Do you find it interesting, maybe even a little bit refreshing, that the women Filner fondled were more or less his own age and quite accomplished? One even a former U.S. Navy admiral, and not more vulnerable, pretty young things. And what does that say about his mentality on all this?
Of course, and I'm a woman, and I deal with a lot of women, and that's unacceptable behavior. We all know that. There was an article about women and saying, well, women, when they can do this kind of behavior, and I was thinking, why in the world, as a psychologist, would we want to look up to this kind of behavior as politicians? Let's vote for those who demonstrate honor, integrity, and justice. And, of course, it's up to the voters to decide that. But the behavior is unacceptable.
Dr. Wendy James is a psychologist in Dallas and owner of Life Consultants there and at lifeconsultantsinc.com.
After all the things you told me and the promises that you gave, oh, why can't you behave?
From Cole Porter's Kiss Me, Kate, and this has been For Your Ears Only.